Enrollment in APS continues to grow. To prepare for the growth, we're opening elementary schools in 2019 and 2021. When we open a new elementary school, we need to create a boundary around that school, and we need to adjust the boundaries around other schools in order to balance capacity. The boundary process this fall will involve 8 schools in preparation for the opening of a new building at Fleet. APS staff is already analyzing data and using policy to develop initial boundary scenarios for the school board to consider. These will be revised in the months ahead, and the school board will vote on the final boundaries on December 6th. These new attendance zones will take effect in September 2019. A secondary boundary process in fall 2020 will create an attendance zone for the new school at Reed and adjust boundaries to better balance enrollment in 2021 across 15 schools. While Abingdon, Barcroft, and Long Branch are part of both boundary processes, no student will move more than once. Staff will provide information throughout these processes and ensure opportunities for community engagement as we develop boundaries that meet school board policy requirements and that are effective for APS as a whole. We take community input into account. Our students are at the center of all that we do. While we will continue to need relocatable classrooms, boundary adjustments are necessary when new schools create additional capacity for our students. We know changing schools can be stressful for families. However, we are confident in our process, our staff, and the quality of all of our schools. We also know that it's a necessary step for the long-term health of our school system, to ease overcrowding and to ensure all students continue to receive the best education possible. As new boundaries take effect, we want to assure families that APS principals and teachers will welcome every student who walks through the door.
So I think the really great thing about this boundary change process is the county is making sure that all the citizens have a voice in this. We want to know what parents are thinking, what communities are thinking as we look at these changes. There are going to be multiple forums for people to participate and be a part of this process, and it's important for all of the people who are stakeholders in this have a say in it.
We were involved with the boundary changes from the very beginning. We knew that our neighborhood would be impacted, and we felt that it was important to understand how the changes would affect our kids as well as students in the entire county. Speaking from my own experience, I think it's important that the community and parents be involved in the boundary process. It really helps to build the community at a very early stage.
I mean, it's exciting being in a new school. I have to get to learn the new community, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Part of my presence here is to make this a school that everyone wants to be a part of, where every child is valued, every child is reaching their highest potential, and it becomes just this community that it's always deserved and should be.
Our planning team takes many factors into account when developing potential boundaries. We use a data-driven process that is guided by school board policy and informed by community input. When developing boundary proposals, we have the best interests of the school community at heart. This fall, we'll use 2 main data sources: the fall 2017 10-year projections for student enrollment countywide, and the projected number of resident students in planning units, which are the geographical building blocks of a school attendance zone. Each planning unit contains a small number of streets within a neighborhood and is assigned to a specific school. Multiple planning units are combined to create the attendance zone for a neighborhood school. When boundaries are adjusted, planning units either remain in the current school attendance zone or are reassigned to another attendance zone. In addition, our team is guided by 6 school board policy considerations when we go through a boundary process: efficiency, proximity, stability, alignment, demographics, contiguity. We typically create 2 types of boundary maps: illustrative maps for discussion purposes to show what boundaries would look like if only one policy consideration is used, and blended maps that take all 6 policy considerations into account. These maps will be available online and at community meetings, along with other information resources. The community can provide input on the blended map scenarios at community meetings and through an online questionnaire. These blended maps will evolve to become the final boundary recommendations presented to the school board. As we work through this process, we encourage residents to stay informed and get engaged. We invite you to be engaged throughout this boundary process.